Okay, so we come out here, the glue is dry. You can tell by putting your hand on it, it'll feel dry, but it goes clear. So it's white and milky when it's wet, and it's clear when it's dry. So this all looks good to me. What we've done here is put out some flat sticks here, about a 1/4 inch thick, 3/4 inches wide, and we can sell you the plans if you need them. So, we're putting these down so we can place the laminate on top of the surface and then locate it exactly where we want to without it sticking, because once the two surfaces of the laminate and the substrate stick or connect, come into contact, then they will be connected. So we've got our first piece here, and this has got a seam at this edge. So what I usually like to do is take a little rag with some lacquer thinner and clean that edge. So I'm just going to lay that right there. And a little bit of lacquer thinner, and I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing stuck to the edge of this that will make the seam be wider than it needs to be. So just wiping that down. All right, and I can go ahead and drop this down. It's not touching the substrate, so I can still move it around and get it where I want it to be before I start actually sticking it. So I can tell by just using my fingers to sort of measure the distance that it is from the edge, and I've got it located where I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one stick here and just use my hand, press it down, and I'm just going to remove one stick at a time and use my hand to smooth it out. And remove the last one. Okay, so we've got this first piece is stuck and in position. We're going to go ahead and put another series of sticks out. And get our second piece of laminate, which is
Right there.
right there. Okay. So I've got seams on both edges of this piece. I'm going to go ahead and take it down here and wipe off the edge with some lacquer thinner again, just to remove any debris that might be stuck on the edge. There's actually a little bit of, I like that. So this was. So we can set this on top of our sticks. First thing we want to do is to try to get our seam lined up as well as we can here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this stick in for the moment. And I'm going to remove this stick here. And what we're doing is we're sort of creating a little bit of a bubble right there, and that will force this seam to be tighter. So So now I'm going to take this stick out and press it in a little bit. And that just moved it a little bit closer. Go ahead and pull that stick out. Okay. And we just have one small piece here left. And where did we put that? Right here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clean off this edge. That's the seam edge. Set it on top of our sticks, and we'll go ahead and line this up. We'll leave that stick in there so I can take those both out. Pull this last one out. That should press in to make that seam just a little bit tighter. So I like using a block like that to get good even pressure all the way around, but they make these J-rollers specifically for this. So this kind of allows you to get good downward pressure without damaging the surface. You need to put solid pressure all the way around. You have to be careful though when you get to the edge. This is overhanging about 1.5 inches, and if you go out over the edge, you'll actually crack that. So you have to be aware of where the substrate is ending so that you don't accidentally crack that over the edge. So we could actually trim this now, and then you can safely roll really close to the edge without worrying about cracking over the edge. So it's a good idea now. We'll just get our trim router out and route all the way around the perimeter of this countertop. And we can go ahead and use this one right here. So we've got just our regular router, flush bearing guided flush trim bit. That's what I want to say. Okay, we can start anywhere. Your countertop is completely trimmed, and we're ready now to actually, we're going to have, as a finished detail, we're going to have a chamfer on this laminate to wood edge. But I don't want the chamfer to go extending into the inside corner there, so I'm going to go ahead and put the chamfer detail on after it's installed. So I actually think it's ready to install. We can end that there.